Hi guys, so purpose of this video is to explain and to show how to connect MySQL server with Python code. So yes, what you can do is you can create a Python file, and from here you can type SQL command and it will get executed in the MySQL server, right? So that's what we are going to learn. My purpose is not to show what SQL is and how what SQL commands are, right? So it's just connecting to data MySQL database. Okay, so for this I'll be following a W3S tutorial, and I'll have this link posted in the description, so you can go ahead and you can follow it out. So no need to write anything. You can just copy and paste from there. It's going to be very easy. Okay, so first thing you need to do is you need to have Python. So you need to have MySQL installed on your system. I already have it installed. MySQL workbench is there where I can see my database. I can see my table. I can run SQL command. Okay, you can install it if you don't have it already. Then the second thing you need to do is this Python file sitting over here needs to connect to the SQL which is in my system. So now what it needs is it needs a driver. Python needs a driver which is called MySQL connector. So you need to install MySQL connector, and that's it. Just MySQL connector, no dependency, nothing else that needs to be installed for this. Okay, so you can pip install it. The code is over here. Again, you can paste it and you can get it installed. To check if it's already installed, this is the command that you can post, and if it doesn't return any error, it means that it's already installed. I know you already know it, so not going to show it. Okay, so let's first step is creating a connection. So first, the Python file sitting over here needs to know where it needs to connect. Okay, so first thing is we need the driver, the Python driver which will connect. So Python driver that connects is MySQL connector. So let's import it. I have already imported it. I'm going to copy paste everything, right? So let's copy paste it everything. I'll explain what it means. So what we are doing is we are using this connector, and there's a method called dot connect. So it's going to connect, but where do you want to connect? So you need to tell the connector where it needs to connect. So you need to pass some detail like the username, the password, and the host. Everything that we need is going to be there present in the workbench. So if I log out of the instance, this connection, you can see the host is localhost, the port is 3306, the username is root, and when I'll try to log in, it will ask for a password, and that same password I'll also need to give my connector, otherwise it will not be able to connect. Okay, I'll show you what if you give a wrong password. So host, local host, the username is root as I told you, and the password, let it be incorrect. Let's send an incorrect password. Let's see what happens. So I'll run this. Let's see. So run this file. Sorry. Okay, so it says access denied for root user at the local host. Why? Because the password was wrong. Okay, so we could not connect. So I'll send now the correct password. If you want to connect, we'll have to give it a correct password. Okay, so now I am also printing mydb. So mydb is going to be an object which this dot connect method is going to return. Okay, so if the connection is successful, it should return an object. So address of the object is returned, right? So the connection is successful. I'm able to connect now. So from here, I'll be able to do any changes. I'll just show you in quick uh, time how to execute some of the command, because the objective is not to show you how what SQL commands are, right? It's just to show you how to connect. Okay, so now we'll need to create a my cursor object. Okay, to execute any SQL command after getting your mydb object, after connecting to the database, you'll need to create a my cursor object. And how do you do? There is a dot cursor method. Okay, this returns a my cursor object it returns. Okay, so now you can simply do my cursor dot execute, and this will execute any SQL query that you want, and all through this Python file. So you'll not need to log in over here and then type things, right? You can do it from Python, and trust me, this is very powerful, because in the next video I can show you that if you have, let's say, hundreds of thousands of rows in an Excel, data of an Excel data, and if you want to get it inside the database, how can you do it, right? So you can use Python again. So stay tuned for the next video. That's going to be very interesting. So for now, let's focus on creating a database. So we already have, let's create a database over here. So let's pass an SQL command. So just SQL. So how do we pass an SQL command? We pass it in a string. So let it be an SQL. Okay, and we can pass this SQL in the execute function. Now let's do this. Okay, so before doing that, I should probably show you how many tables I have. So how many databases I have. So show databases. Currently, I have 5 databases. Let's execute it and let's see if it makes any change. So yes. So now the my database is created. Good. So this change was successful. Now let's also execute some of the other changes. Good. So now we need to use this database that we have created, my database. Okay. So for all the SQL query that we do, we'll need this database. So we'll need to let this know, let this connection know that we are going to use my database for all the SQL query that we are writing. My database. Okay. Good. So this is done. So if I do a show tables, right? If I do a show tables, so if I do a show tables, it should show me all the tables, but we don't have any tables for now, right? So let's do it some other time. So show table. Okay. Uh, Now let's insert, create a table. Okay. So first thing is creating a table. So I'll again copy paste this code. Not really interested in learning or showing the SQL command, just want to show it's possible to connect through, how it's possible to connect through uh, Python page. So, okay, create table customers, where it will have 2 fields, name and address, and we can execute this. Let's see if it works. Okay, let's see if it works. How are we going to say it? There are 2 methods. Either we can go to the workbench and then do that, or we can do it here. So let's write another SQL command. So let's, now we can do show tables. So it will show all the tables in my database. So for, so this thing itself is an object. It's going to have the result. So my cursor. So let's iterate for I in my cursor, print I. So it should print all the tables. So there are only one table customer, so it got created. Good. So now we can also insert into the table. So let's insert first. Okay, so the table that we created had 2 fields, but you can see, okay, so let's paste it. So basically now what we are doing is inserting into customers name and address, and these are the values that we are going to pass, and we are going to pass it as a tuple. And then if we execute it, this row will be entered, John and highway. So okay, so let's execute it. And but whenever we are making an insert statement, we'll have to commit it into the database. So if we don't commit it, nothing will be going to be saved. So we are going to commit it. Okay. uh, is some error there. It's okay. So we'll, for insert, we'll also need to pass value in the my cursor. Okay. So let's see if it's there. We can, so use my database. We can also do it from the Python file, but let's see over here my database, and then show, uh, select from, sorry, from customers. Okay. I do not need to save it. So yes, the value got added. Now we can also add multiple rows at a time. You can follow that link that I'll be posting and everything will be clear. So we are done with this video, I would say. So let's change it slightly, John, to the same thing. Now we have to pass it as a array. Okay, so we'll pass a list of tuple. But this execute command should know that value that we are passing is not a tuple, but rather a list of tuples. So there is another method called execute many, and it will paste a lot of rows at once. So now if I execute it, two rows are added at once. Okay, so you can see. So yes, the other important thing is always have this commit whenever you are inserting. So yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye guys.